business portion here now. Consent grouping, can I have a motion to approve consent grouping items 4A1 through 4C1?
I'll move that we approve consent items for A1 through 4C1.
Second.
Okay, can we please move on to our curriculum report, Mrs. Tryon?
Yeah, we had a good meeting this month. We heard from our talented and gifted program. And we talked about this a little bit last year at one of our meetings as well. So just a reminder, we have currently in our district 163 students identified as talented and gifted in our 1st through 6th grades. And those students are in what we call a cluster classroom in their respective elementary schools. So those are the teachers that are assigned to those students to offer them different enrichment opportunities, and different extension opportunities with the content that is already being instructed. But really what the gifted program wanted to talk about this month with us was the fact that they put on their own talented and gifted conference this fall for the teachers in the district who work with our talented and gifted students. And so they created an entire conference that they had over at the FAC, and they made different breakout sessions that teachers could select from in terms of what they were most interested in when it came to educating our talented and gifted students. Just like a regular conference that we would attend somewhere off-site. And they had a keynote speaker, actually one of our Forest Hills parents, who regularly does keynote addresses and discusses project-based learning with not just Forest Hills, but beyond Forest Hills. In fact, he is currently in talks with the College Board to work on some different project-based learning initiatives with AP. So that was really fantastic. There was widespread support and excitement for this conference. All the teachers really appreciated it. They thought it was great to have it on site and also to be taught by their peers and their fellow teachers. So that was a real success for our talented and gifted team, was this conference that they put on for our educators. We also talked briefly about the fact that we are going to be partnering with Kids Hope to provide mentoring to different students within the district. All of the elementary schools have expressed interest in having a mentor, so it's up to the different administrators to decide which students in their school could benefit from that and work out a schedule. We are also still partnering with Hand to Hand at a few of our elementary schools. We have 41 kids who qualify for those services. And then, like we just heard, this past Friday we had the 3rd grade belonging event over at the FAC, which I know was very successful, much like the 4th grade one that we had last late winter, early spring. So all really good things, and that's our meeting.
Thank you. Any questions?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We are gonna vote to approve tonight the principles of macroeconomics for use in AP Macro at Eastern High School.
Okay. Then we'll head over to Dr. Michaud for a finance report.
Sure. We had a full agenda at our meeting as well, the culmination of a lot of months and months of work coming to us tonight in a couple different areas. But we started a review of our financial statements through September, which has us already a quarter of the way through our fiscal year, all of which was without a state budget, so that was fun, as we all know. And then we, as we do, had a good overview of our bond construction updates and the work happening across the district. A lot of active sites. Northern Hills Middle School and the Aquatics Center had recently had bidding closed, and we'll talk about that more in a second. That's here for our approval tonight. There's work to be coming up at all exteriors in the high school athletic facilities for upgrades around all the athletic facilities there. Ada Elementary and Meadowbrook are about done planning and will be going out to bid soon for us to consider probably shortly after the new year. And again, a number of places in the design phase. main update on that regard in the future, being the current aquatic center, we'll talk about the new aquatic center. That work will start this late spring, summer, probably ahead, is to try to figure out what we want that space to look like and how we could redesign that space to be useful to our learners and to our community. So that's coming up as well. For action items, we have sets of contracts for two big construction projects. The first is Northern Hills Middle School was out to bid. There was 25 different categories that received a total of 83 bids, so we're happy about that. Helped drive costs down. The low bids were accepted in all of the categories except for 3. One had an incomplete response, one did not follow the design as specified, and one we opted for a voluntary alternate to better suit our needs after everything was flushed out. But beyond that, it was low bid in all categories. We had all the information in our packets, talked about those at subcommittees as well, a lot of it. I don't want to talk about it for 30 seconds only to minimize it, but a lot has gone into this. We've talked about this extensively. OAK reviewed everything as well as we saw and agrees with the recommendations. So this is to us for a total cost not to exceed $16,025,812. That'll come from 23 and 25 capital projects with work to start in June, and estimated about a 2-year construction project over at Northern Hills Middle. The second piece is to approve the contracts for our new aquatic center. 31 bid categories in this project that received a total of 141 bids. And we mentioned it a couple of times, kind of a point of pride. Groups from across the state wanted to be associated with this project. Places as far as Saginaw and Holland, Grand Haven. A lot of folks, I think, view this as a marquee project and a very cool piece of the West Michigan area. So again, there was a lot of bids which helped with pricing. And as we saw in the packet, recommendation is for all low bidders except for 4, 2 with an incomplete scope who ended up retracting their bids, and 2 that didn't meet the project specifications otherwise, and it was next low bidders in those categories. Again, everything reviewed and supported by our OAK partners. So the total cost of the project under initial projected budget, $47,327,416 from the 2025 Capital Projects Fund. A little bit of work to start yet this fall with some water and pipe relocation, and then the rest of the project to start sort of after winter is gone into the spring. Again, about a 2.5 year project expected for the new aquatic center. Beyond those, we have in front of us the approval of the purchase of 5 new school buses from Midwest Transit Equipment. They are the international brand, which our whole fleet is standardized to now. We know we have buses on replacement cycles, so this is a standard item for us about this time of year. Usually they phase out around 120,000 miles is when we look to replace them. The cost for the 5 is not to exceed $859,505,000 from 2025 capital projects. Noted this is up about $11,000 per bus last year. About 60% of that, they tell us, is attributed to the effects of the tariffs from the recent workings. So more per bus, that's the total cost for 5 new ones. Next item is our next purchase of interactive flat panels, or these BenQ boards that are around the district now. We've approved previously 2 phases or 2 purchases of groups of these. This next purchase is for 113 more units to roll out to Central High School and Eastern Middle High School. And the training and support, again, come with all of these like they have before. Amount not to exceed $646,589 out of 2023 capital projects. The next is my favorite item of the month, an automated floor scrubber for Eastern Middle School, High School. It's the custodial equipment that is classically driven and scrubs all of the tile and the hard surfaces. This is the Roomba edition of that, as we were described. It's programmable. It operates by itself. It can be deployed through an app to go and clean up spills. It's a pretty cool piece of equipment. It has a great life cycle to it. Has a lot of advantages in terms of being able to use our human workforce more efficiently and in different areas as well. So it comes with the warranty, all the software, multiple quotes. The low bidder was Action Chemical Incorporated for that one. And the next is an annual item, our summer tax levy, which we do every year or have every year since 1986. Before us to authorize the collection of 50% of our district taxes in July. Instead of collecting all of them at one time, we split that into 2 collections across the year. Has multiple advantages and applies to most of the municipalities that are part of Forest Hills, that make up Forest Hills, except the city of Grand Rapids and Cannon Townships. Those small pieces are 100% collection. And finally, just a refunded property tax, one item, $61,247.47 to Kent County. That was all of it.
Thank you very much.